everybody, it's Chris Eads, known online as Wootini, here with another Gay Gamer video podcast. This week, I actually want to start by recommending Shogun. If you have Hulu, I recommend checking it out. It was an excellent series. The final episode just came out last week, and it was terrific. It was really well done. Excellent television. 10 episodes, good story, good performances. Highly recommended. And then as for movies, I was finally able to see the First Omen. I had Friday off work, and I checked the movie times, and for whatever reason, Saturday afternoon there were no showings, but Friday afternoon there were tons. So I just went on Friday afternoon, no problem. And I finally got to see it. Yay! And it was pretty good. It's a prequel to the 1970s Omen movie. And this young woman goes to Rome to become a nun and take the veil, and finds herself caught up in all kinds of religious conspiracy, creepiness, and weirdness, and all kinds of scary stuff. It's not like super scary. There's a few like creepy moments, and obviously like the religious iconography is obviously going to be creepy. That works on me, might not for you, but and there's some really good jump scares. There's a few jump scares that really actually got me. I was like, good for you. And then there's like some like shocking visuals of like disturbing imagery and some gore, and it's like, ooh. I will say that there are some callbacks to the original Omen film, but like, you know, like some of the violence is reminiscent of that. But there is one scene where they literally just do the same thing with a little extra. It's very extra. But it was so similar that I was like, why? Like the other ones were a variation on a theme, and this was very similar, and I didn't understand why it was so similar, because I didn't get it. I was like, why would they do this again? I don't get it, but whatever. I feel like they had to do it. They probably felt like they had to do it because it's like one of the most iconic bits from the original Omen, so they had to do it again. But I kind of wish they hadn't, or if they had changed it more, you know. You'll know when you see it. I mean, you've probably already figured it out. But anyway, it also, there is a reveal late in the film that the characters are all shocked by, but I was not, because I basically figured it out. Like, it was kind of obvious from like very early on. To be fair though, I didn't figure out the twist exactly, point for point. So that was helpful. I only like knew part of it, you know. The other part of it I thought was gonna go another way, and it didn't. And I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, it wasn't the big reveal I think they meant it to be, because it was kind of obvious. I feel like everybody would have already seen that coming. But it does end tying neatly into the first Omen movie from the 70s. And then it also weirdly sets up like the potential for like sequels. So I guess they could do sequels that run like parallel to the 70s and 80s Omen movies. I don't know. I think it did well, so maybe they'll get a sequel. I don't know. But yeah, it was surprisingly good. So you're probably not going to see it in theaters anymore because it's been out for a month. But when it does come on streaming, check it out if you like the Omen movies, because this was a worthy addition to the series. And for reviving a decades-old horror movie series, this was better than it had any right to be, honestly. I figured it would just be a cheap cash-in, and it was actually decent. And then on Saturday, instead of going to see the vampire ballet girl, I decided Abigail, it's going to be on Peacock in like a month, so I'll just watch that with my husband. We can enjoy that together, because I know he wants to see it. And so I said, let me see something else. And I saw that they re-released Alien to theaters on 4/26, get it, for its 45th anniversary. And I thought, you know what? I don't think I've ever seen Alien on the big screen, so let's go and see Alien on the big screen in a theater. Unfortunately, it wasn't playing in like IMAX with the Dolby theaters. That's for new releases. This was just on regular screens, so it wasn't the biggest of big screens. But it was still big enough that the Nostromo occasionally looked like the little plastic model that it is. That was a little odd, but it was only a handful of shots, so it wasn't too bad. Overall, the movie is still fantastic, and it's great on the big screen, in the theater with an audience. Although I do wish that it was very clear that it was surprisingly crowded for a re-release, but I was disappointed that like everyone there had clearly already seen it because they weren't reacting to anything that was going on. And I sort of wish that somebody had brought like their girlfriend along who had never seen it so that she could at least react to some of the jump scares and stuff. Like in the First Omen, there was somebody who, like, people were jumping and there was a girl in the back who was like, oh no, that was fun. That just would have made it more entertaining. But it was nice to see Alien on the big screen, and obviously I'm not going to review Alien because it's awesome and everyone knows it's awesome. And it is worth seeing on the big screen if you can get it. I don't know how long it'll be in theaters, but if you have the chance, I recommend it on the big screen. It was a much better experience. As for games, I am continuing to play Super Mario RPG. However, I could not resist temptation, and I did download and begin playing Immortals of Aveum on my PS5. I just wanted something different. I wanted like a shooter, and it's a first-person shooter. You're just using magic instead of bullets. So I started that, and it was what I wanted it to be, just a very simple, straightforward, linear shooter. There's little sections where you can like go off the beaten path a little bit to find like a hidden treasure, but it's all very linear. And you just work your way through, kill all the enemies, and get to the end of the area, and the story continues, and you go to a new area to kill more enemies. Very straightforward, just shooting things. It's fun. Also, it's a first-person shooter, but you do get to see the lead character in cutscenes, and he is extremely cute, which I enjoyed. I will say that after he joins the Magic Army, he gets a haircut and is still cute, but I did kind of prefer his like floppy boy band hair. That's just me. I will say that I was a little startled in the beginning. You're like running through this maze of a village, and thankfully you're following your friend, so you don't have to actually try to navigate anything because it's insane. I lost her at one point, and I was like, I do not know where to go, and I had to check the map, and I'm like, okay, over here, there, okay, all right, fine. It was very overwhelming, but it's meant to be just sort of an introductory story level, so you're just following her, and it's fine. Then you join the Magic Army, and it's like there's 3 different kinds of magic. There's blue magic, which is just a regular gun. Red magic is a shotgun, and green magic is like a machine gun, rapid fire. And I thought, okay, they start you with blue, and I thought, okay, and they'll teach me how to use this, and then as the game progresses, there will be additional tutorial levels for the other kinds of magic. I'll learn things piece by piece as I go along, gradually, through the game. No. The tutorial level was like, here's blue magic, here's a shield, here's red magic, here's this, here's green magic, here's that, here's how you do this, here's how you do that. And I was just like, oh, like it was just a lot all at once for a tutorial level. I was like, whoa, slow down. So that was a little overwhelming. But it was okay, like, because then you go out and then it's like, okay, and I can switch between the magics and do different things, and I could get through it, and it wasn't too bad until I hit like the first boss fight, which was this big dragon thing, and it was so hard. And I died like 4 or 5 times, and I finally was like, I gotta go look this up. And unfortunately, this was not a big, huge game, so there's not like multiple websites with walkthroughs and everything for it. So like I'm seeing a lot of message boards where people are like, what is up with this boss? This is so hard, so early in the game, what are they doing? So it wasn't just me. Because I was like, is there something I'm not doing? I'm trying all my different tricks and nothing's working. And it turns out that no, there is no trick to it. You just have to like stay alive longer so that you can, I could whittle his health down, but then I would die first. So you just have to make sure that you don't die first and you stay healthy so that you can find enough health stuff to stay alive so that you can finally kill him. And eventually I did do that. But that was like surprisingly difficult, that just this difficulty level just spiked that high in an early boss fight. That was concerning. I'm also concerned that like now after that, then you get the ability to like upgrade your weapons and armor and such and craft new things and whatever. And I'm getting the unsettling feeling like the menus are a lot. Like you get like, you can upgrade your abilities and it's a lot. So I don't know how much of there's a lot of stuff going on. And I don't know how much of it is window dressing and how much of it is important, but we'll find out as I continue playing it. However, I am not playing it too much because I am trying to focus on Super Mario RPG. Because I need to finish that, I've made the rule that I need to finish Super Mario before I can get Endless Ocean Luminous that comes out next week. That's the rule. I'm trying to stick to it. The problem is, as I mentioned in a previous episode, it seemed like it was very fast. I didn't think I would have trouble finishing Super Mario RPG in time because it was going so quickly and I was just getting star after star after star after star. However, these later levels, the later stars are much harder to get. You have to go through a lot more in order to get them. And then sometimes you get them and then somebody will come along and steal it from you and you have to go get it from them, and that just drags it out even further. That was annoying. I also have encountered a couple of places where there is more platforming, and it is not platforming to try to get a bonus item or whatever. It is literally platforming to get to the next area of the game. And that is not cool because I am not good at it. And now I am in like the final area, Bowser's Keep, and I have found myself stuck in the 6 doors, which is horrible. I hate it. I hate it so much. There are 6 doors. Behind each door is a 3-part course that you must complete. You must complete 4 of the 6 in order to move on to fight the boss or whatever. And of the 6, there are 3 different types of courses. There is an action course, which is all platforming, which was the first one that I found, because they're randomly placed behind the doors. And I did that one, and I made it through, like, I think I might have made it through the first 2 sections, or just the first section, and in the second section, you only have 10 tries, and then you get booted back to the beginning. And it was horrible. I sucked, because I can't do platforming. My timing is off. Then I found one that was a battle system, which was fine, because you go through 3 sections of like 4 battles each, and it's like battle, 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 and you just fight. And that's fine, because then you're adding to your, you're getting experience and going up in levels, and that's helpful. And then at the end I got like a good weapon for one of the characters. The third one is a puzzle, and in looking it up online in a walkthrough, because I wanted to see which ones were which, but unfortunately it turns out that they're just random, so they can't tell you which are which, but they can tell you what each one is. They just can't tell you what, this is what you're going to encounter. We just can't tell you which number door it's going to be behind, because it is random for each player. And I was like, well, I can just do the battle and the quizzes, and that'll be fine. Except for the fact that I was looking at the puzzle. There's, the puzzle doors are going to have 3 sections of puzzles, and one of them was I just skimmed it, and it was here's a bunch of quizzes, and you have to answer 8 questions correctly, and there's a whole bunch of questions. And I'm looking at these things, and it's what is this character's favorite drink? And I'm like, who is that character, and how am I supposed to know what their favorite drink is? Some rando that I talked to in some village at the beginning of the game, how am I supposed to retain that? What? So I don't think I can do the puzzle levels either, because the puzzles are very difficult. But I think I'm going to have to do the puzzle levels and just cheat in order to get through this section of the game, because this is really hard. Thankfully, it took me a really long time, and after I finished the battle section, it bounced me back to the doors, and that door was marked X, I'm done with that one, so that's fine. But then the problem is I couldn't back out to go save my game. And I was like, oh my god, don't tell me that it doesn't say, I can't save my game. Like, I can't do all of this all at once. That's going to take forever. But thankfully, once you finish and it bounced me back, it did autosave, so phew. But it's still really fucking irritating. And I do not like this, like, 6-door section, and it's really annoying. And I'm going to have to cheat in order to get past it because of my rule that I need to finish Super Mario RPG before I can buy Endless Ocean Luminous. And I don't know how long it's going to take me to get through this, because now, all of a sudden, I'm at the very end of the game, but it's gotten, like, super crazy hard. And I'm like, what if I can't finish Super Mario RPG? At what point do I give up and say, never mind, I can't finish this, it's too hard, and I'll just play Endless Ocean and chill out? I don't know. So, come back for the next episode where you will find out if I was able to finish Super Mario RPG in time to start Endless Ocean Luminous, or if I gave up so that I could play Endless Ocean Luminous, or the more likely one is that I'm still trying to finish it, but I still bought Endless Ocean Luminous because I have no willpower. Come back next time and find out which it is. Bye!